Hey there, I'm Jules Clancy, a former food scientist turned extremely simple cooking coach. And so today I'm going to show you how to make my 3+ ingredient salmon fried rice. So don't tell Uncle Roger about these. I'm not sure what he's going to think. But anyway, we'll jump into the kitchen. 3+ ingredient salmon fried rice. So I've got a pan on a high heat. Just going to get in some oil and then 200 grams, which is about 7 ounces of cooked rice. So cook and stir. Then when the rice is hot, I'm going to add my salmon, or you could use other cooked protein. And then when everything's hot, you can get it off the heat and add soy sauce. So we want 1 or 2 tablespoons. Whoops. Beautiful, and that is completely delicious as it is, but I have this weird thing where I need to have something green in my bowl or my plate, so I'm just going to serve it with some sliced green onions. That's my plus ingredient. Okay, so if you've enjoyed this recipe, make sure you go and download my free app, Stone Soup app. So you just need to go to thestonesoup.com/app, and it's got like hundreds of simple recipes just like this one. And I add new ones every week. And also, if you're like curious about like mixing this recipe up, one of the other things that I do that's quite unique, apart from like extremely simple, limited number of ingredients, is I include variations at the end of each recipe so that you can adjust depending on what you've got in the house, or if you've got specific dietary requirements. So our salmon fried rice, what could we do differently? So in terms of protein, yeah, like canned salmon, not traditional. Normally we would use eggs in fried rice. So that if you don't eat fish, that's a great option. If you do eat fish, I made a tuna fried rice before, or any other like canned fish that you love. Sardine, if you love sardines, they would work amazingly here. Or you could be using fresh fish as well. Or the other option is like if you like, you could be using chicken. So it could be chicken, sliced up chicken thigh fillets, or chicken, other sliced chicken, or you could use chicken that's ground chicken, like so minced chicken. We call it minced chicken in Australia, but ground chicken or turkey. Any of those things. You just need to make sure, though, if you are using raw meat, that you are making sure that it's getting cooked enough. So it's getting cooked properly. Just we don't want you to get food poisoning. And then in terms of like vegetarian options, like crumbled tofu would work really well in this, or diced up firm tofu. Or you could like do like a chickpea fried rice. Like that would be amazing. So or lentils, like lentils and rice actually. And if you do use cooked lentils in with the fried rice, and like do like a fried rice and lentil combo, that's also going to give you that complete vegetarian protein, because when you combine rice and lentils, you get all the amino acids. So that, from the protein perspective, always good. In terms of sauces, soy sauce, of course, that we've used in this recipe, totally traditional. However, you could use the oyster sauce if you didn't have any soy sauce, or you could just season it with salt and just keep it really simple. Fish sauce is another option, like that kind of more Vietnamese vibe. It's just going to be slightly less salty, a little bit fresher. Yeah, like pretty much, or hoisin sauce if you had any of that laying around, that would be delicious. Yeah, so like heaps of, or you could take it in a different direction and like make an Italian vibe and serve it with pesto instead, like so the rice and salmon with pesto. Or you could take it Mexican and like use a chunky salsa. So yeah, like it doesn't have to be in this Asian vibe. Although this is going to really make Uncle Roger freak out. Yeah, and then in terms of the plus ingredients, so in this I used green onion because I have this fetish where I need to have something green on my plate. But like, often would all, if I'm making it for the boys, I use frozen peas instead, and because they're a great way to get some extra veggies in, and keeping it green. But the other thing that I really love serving this with is like some roasted nuts. So we usually go with cashews, but peanuts are really great. Or you could use almonds, like or a deluxe version would be macadamias or pine nuts. And they just give you, like, the nuts just give you that crunch and a bit of an extra like interesting texture. So I really like them with them. Or you could go with like other fresh herbs. So it could be cilantro, like coriander, or mint. You could even do basil with this salmon fried rice. Like that would all work really well. So, oh, the rice. So yes, it doesn't have to be rice. You can make any cooked grain that you have would work really well here. So quinoa, barley, farro, any of those, like kind of more exotic cooked grains, really good. We mentioned lentils before, so you could do like a lentil version using cooked lentils. The other option, of course, if you're not into grains, is using like frozen like cauliflower rice, or frozen broccoli rice, or any of those veggie rices, or fresh if you want to do so, like just grate the veggies to turn them into veggie rice, and it cooks in really well. You might want to up the amount of salmon just to make it a little bit more substantial, or serve it with one of the nuts that we mentioned before. But yeah, like if you're following like a low carb approach, like that's a really great way. And sometimes what I do is like I do a mix of like some regular cooked rice and some veggie rice and mix that in, and the boys actually they'll still eat it. They won't even realize. So that's a good way to get some extra veggies. Yeah, so that's so many ideas with this. I love this dish, and I love that it's a pantry meal, because you can always have cooked rice, or always have rice in the house, or cooked rice. Those pouches work really well. Or and you've got your canned fish, or if you're using eggs and the sauce. So yes, I hope you have fun playing around with this recipe. Taking it in whatever direction that suits you. Just remember, like, trust your instincts. If you think something's going to taste delicious, it usually does. So it's Clancy's law of cooking. Yeah, so enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to go and download the app. Go do it now. So just go to thestonesoup.com/app and put in your details, and you'll like hundreds of recipes just like this, and new ones added every week. Okay, have a beautiful week. I'll catch you next time.